There is a kind of exhaustion that does not come from work, movement, or responsibility. It comes from trying to control things that were never fully yours to hold. Trying to control how people see you, trying to control how quickly life unfolds, trying to control outcomes, timing, reactions, feelings, and futures that remain uncertain no matter how carefully you think. A lot of people are tired, not because life is too full, but because their mind is gripping too tightly. And today I want to talk about what it means to let go, not in a careless way, not in a way that means giving up, but in a way that finally brings peace back into your life. Most people do not try to control everything because they are arrogant. They do it because they are afraid of disappointment, afraid of rejection, afraid of loss, afraid that if they stop monitoring every possibility, something painful will happen. So they replay conversations, overthink decisions, imagine worst case scenarios, and keep reaching for certainty where certainty does not exist. It feels responsible, it feels like preparation, it feels like self protection. But often it is just fear wearing the mask of control. The problem is that control has limits. You can prepare, but you cannot guarantee. You can speak honestly, but you cannot control how someone interprets you. You can love deeply, but you cannot force someone to stay. You can work hard, but you cannot command timing. You can be careful, but you cannot remove all risk from life. And the more you fight these truths, the more exhausted you become, because life does not become peaceful when you control everything. Life becomes peaceful when you stop demanding control over what was never yours. A lot of suffering comes from confusing responsibility with control. Responsibility says, I will do my part. I will be honest. I will show up. I will act with care. But control says, I must also manage the outcome. I must make sure everyone understands me. I must prevent discomfort. I must stop anything painful from happening. That is too much for one human heart to carry. Responsibility keeps you grounded. Control keeps you anxious. One is healthy effort. The other is endless tension. And this tension shows up everywhere. In relationships, where you keep trying to fix how someone feels about you. In work, where you tie your peace to results you cannot fully predict. In healing, where you pressure yourself to move faster than your heart is ready for. In the future, where you keep asking for answers that have not arrived yet. Slowly, your mind becomes a place of constant gripping. Even rest starts to feel incomplete because you are still mentally holding everything. This is hard because uncertainty makes people uncomfortable. The mind wants closure. It wants reassurance. It wants to know exactly where things are going. But some chapters of life only open when you stop forcing them. Some answers only arrive when you stop chasing them every hour. Some peace only returns when you accept that not knowing is part of being human. You are not failing because you do not have total clarity. You are simply living in a world where not everything can be solved before it unfolds. One of the deepest forms of maturity is learning to sit with uncertainty without letting it destroy your inner balance. To say, I do not know how this will end, but I will still remain honest. I do not know what they will choose, but I will still keep my dignity. I do not know when things will change, but I do not have to destroy my peace while waiting. That kind of mindset changes everything because now life is no longer a constant emergency. It becomes something you move through with more patience, more trust, and less panic. Sometimes letting go also means grieving the fantasy of perfect control. Grieving the idea that if you just think harder, try harder, or worry harder, you can avoid every pain. That fantasy is comforting, but it is not real. And when you release it, something softer becomes possible. You breathe more deeply. You stop wrestling with every unknown. You stop chasing impossible certainty. You begin to understand that peace is not the reward for controlling life. Peace is what grows when you stop fighting life's uncontrollable parts. So, if you have been feeling heavy lately, maybe ask yourself this: what am I trying to hold that is not mine to hold? Someone else's reaction? The speed of your future? The outcome of a situation that is still unfolding? The need to be understood by everyone? Maybe the next step is not to grip tighter. Maybe it is to loosen your hand, to do your part with sincerity and then let life breathe. Because sometimes the freedom you need is not found in finally controlling everything. It is found in realizing you were never meant to.